That is pretty wild. If I was an owner, I would be heated.
Oh, I would be very upset, especially, I mean, I don't know how long the dog was dropped off for.
Yeah.
Because one thing I will say, in school, when you learned radiology and how to perform x-rays and all the landmarks, all of your patients were sedated.
Yeah, that's also true.
Every single one of them.
Don't be afraid to say that you don't know something. Like, if a client asks you, or like if you're already working in that setting, like if someone asks you a question, like a lot of people are like, oh, well, you went to school for this, so you should know.
Yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Veterinary Roundtable, the podcast where we answer your veterinary-related questions while having some fun along the way. If you enjoyed today's episode or a previous episode, be sure to leave us a review on your podcast provider of choice, and if you have any feedback to offer to improve the Veterinary Roundtable, let us know. We're almost at 400 reviews on Spotify.
Whoop, whoop.
That's 100 away from our goal. We're like crazy. 120 away from our goal. Less than.
That's crazy.
That means something's going to happen soon.
And make sure you check out our Instagram and TikTok at Veterinary Roundtable. And if you would like to watch, shoot over to YouTube.
The Veterinary Roundtable on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah. And check out all of our previous episodes because they're all good. We talk about good stuff. I'm Courtney Allen.
I'm Alan McQuarrie.
And we're missing some people.
It's just a text today.
It's a two-man show today. King is in Florida. Duckwall's still on maternity leave.
With her
Elle Wade's here. Our mascot's here. Yeah. Yeah, you're part of the podcast. We need to get him a red outfit.
I know. I thought about that.
We need to get him like a red sweater. That'd be easy. Yeah, you're a mascot. Okay, pits and peaks.
Pits and peaks. Okay, you want me to go first?
Sure.
Mine are kind of silly, but...
Okay, that's okay.
Okay, so my pit is I've been watching this show, Chad Powers, and I don't know...
Never heard of that.
I think it's on like Hulu or something, but I've been watching it religiously for the last several weeks on Tuesdays, and when Tuesday came around, I went to watch it, and there was no new episodes, so I was heartbroken.
Oh, so does it come out on Tuesdays?
It does come out on Tuesdays, but I don't know if
Is it done?
I don't know if it's like done or if they're going to come out with any more. But I was so
sad. Because that's what you have to look forward to all day.
Yes, the anticipation was hitting. And then I got home and I was like, wait a dang second. There ain't no new episodes.
That's really sad.
So that's sad. So I don't know. I'm going to have to Google when they come out the next round.
Yeah.
But anyways, the peak is I've got to go to the gym twice this week in the morning.
Ooh.
Yeah, in the morning.
That's not... What time do you have to get up? 3?
4. 4:20 to be exact.
Do you go to the gym and then go back home to pick up Bennett? And okay.
Spencer now is going to take him Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Nice.
So I can go to the gym in the morning.
So that has been nice.
I also haven't had a Diet Coke all week. I've been trying to cut that habit because I've been getting real bad.
You should have seen Devin. She looked like she was... I mean, we ran out yesterday of Diet Coke in the clinic. And Devin was tweaking. She had an eye twitch going on.
Well, I was just like, gosh, I did not used to drink pop as much as I did. Yeah. And now I was like reliant every day that, at least that I was at work, I was having a Diet Coke. And I was like, I got to stop this.
Yeah.
But I did have a McDonald's Coke today.
That's okay.
For celebratory reasons.
Celebrating with the soda for not having soda.
Yeah.
I know. I think I have a soda problem too. I just love carbonation. Like, I mean, I drink plenty of water. Like, I'm really good about my water. But man, I love a fizzy beverage.
Yeah, it's like my, like...
And I drink zero sugar now because it makes me feel better. But I'm like, it's not really any better.
No.
Like, it really isn't.
Sometimes you think it's probably worse.
Oh, for sure.
They put in it.
Yeah, considering it's called diet, there's got to be something wrong with it. But, you know, it makes you feel better.
Yeah, for sure.
Rather than grabbing just a sugary Coke. I will say, touching on your TV thing, I was watching a show. I don't remember what it was, but I was logged into Amber's like Disney Plus because she stayed at my house at some point with Miles, and then it somehow logged me out, and I was like, well, I can't watch that show anymore. It was really sad. Okay, my pit is the time change.
Yeah.
I really hate how dark it gets and how early. I think on Monday the sunset was like 5:40 something.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
It's so hard to get used to.
Yeah, because like in the mornings it's still pretty dark when you drive to work, and then you leave and it's dark. Like,
yeah,
it's just, and then you just feel like the day's over.
Yeah,
it's horrible. Like when I was doing something this past weekend, and I was like, oh my God, I have to make dinner, and I'm like, no, I don't. It's 5:30. It's horrible. I don't like it.
I know. There's always a period of...
It's just seasonal depression is a real thing.
It is.
It's just way too dark.
It is dark.
Driving home at 6:15 p.m.
I like the sun. Maybe we should get one of those like lamps or something.
Yeah, we can fake it.
The sun lamp.
Get 17,000 lamps in your house so you think it's daylight.
Yeah, for sure.
My peak. We're having a family time this weekend with my in-laws. Good. So like Aiden's coming home from college, who's the youngest brother, and then Cameron and his girlfriend are coming. They live in Muncie. And then we'll go, the dogs will play. So it'll just be fun to hang out. And my in-laws live like back in the woods. And so it's just a good time. And the dogs can play and run around.
Yeah, you guys can have like game night and stuff.
I won't lie, they don't really play games. Jacob didn't grow up playing games. They don't have there's games somewhere in that house. I just can't find them. But they're not a game family. We literally sit around and just talk for hours sometimes.
I mean, that's kind of nice too.
It is really nice. But sometimes I'm like, we should play games. Maybe now that you say that, I'll bring games on Saturday. Bring some Yahtzee.
Skippo.
Oh, I love Skippo.
Good game of Skippo.
Skippo's so fun.
We play that often.
Jacob and I play Yahtzee on a weekly basis. We love Yahtzee.
So funny.
Okay, sad news. We don't have any tales from the trenches this week. A little bummed out.
We do have a tale from the trench.
Oh, it's a surprise!
A nice little surprise from producer me to you. I'm texting you now.
I thought you were saying Purdue, and I was like, what about Purdue? And
I was like, wait.
Producer. Got it.
I just texted the Tales from the Trench to you. It's a voice message, so hold it up to the microphone and let's listen.
Okay. I haven't received it yet. Have you gotten it?
Oh, your phone.
My phone is not working in here.
It's on the way.
Okay.
I got it.
That's so exciting. Well, anyway, if you have a funny, unhinged something about vet med, send it our way. You can email it at the Veterinary Roundtable or theveterinarroundtable@gmail.com, or you can send in voice memos to that as well.
It also doesn't have to be funny. It can be an interesting case.
You're right.
Can be
anything.
Just something enlightening, you know?
Yeah. Something fun for us to listen to or read. You have it?
Yes, I do.
That's crazy. I still don't.
Allie, when you share it, just play it, but hold the bottom of your phone up to the top of the microphone.
Yeah.
There you go. Yep, like that.
Hey, guys. I am sending in a voice memo because, Courtney, I know how much you love voice memos and reading them on the Veterinary Roundtable. And so I thought, you know what? I can't be there today. So
we both were
you know what? I'm sending in a voice memo because I've got a good tale from the trenches.
Oh my God.
Being a business owner, as you can imagine, I have seen and heard everything. And so this story is from several years ago. Now, to help tell the story, I'm bringing in some of my compadres who were witnesses to said story. So we've got Kayla Biddles here. Say hello, Kayla.
Hello.
And we also have Richie King here. Say hello.
Hello.
To help tell the story, because these guys have some details that are going to add some texture to this Tales from the Trenches. Okay. So let me just set it up for you. All right. We used to have boarding and grooming way back in the day at All-Star Veterinary Clinic. And so our groomer at the time was and we've had groomers over time, right? We've had lots of different groomers, guys, right? And these groomers are known for being unique and, eccentric. That's a great word. Okay, right? And so one groomer that we had was very unique and eccentric. And so one day she was grooming a dog. Does anybody remember what kind of dog? I'm thinking it was a doodle.
I think it was a doodle.
A doodle. A dog over there.
It's always a doodle.
A dog over there.
It was a doodle.
It was a doodle. And she was good at that. She was really actually known for grooming doodles. She had a lot of doodle clients. Okay. Anyway, so the way it would work is we would have somebody come in for grooming, and then the groomer would call when that owner was supposed to come back and pick up said animal. Well, this owner just showed up, right? Am I remembering that correctly?
I think so. Yes.
Shows up. And if you can picture the clinic, you come in through the front doors, you come into the main lobby, and then there's this hallway that kind of takes you to a back middle section of the clinic. And if you go right, there's a room there. It's a decent sized room that has a window. And then it has a table inside the room where the groomer works. And they put the dog on the table, and then they obviously work their magic. Okay. So does anybody have any additional details to setting up the story as I've done so far?
No.
Okay. So I don't know how it ended up that the owner, does anybody remember how the owner ended up showing up at the clinic?
Best that I can recall, they showed up and they somehow just made their way back there.
Okay, that's what I remember, right? Like, I don't remember why she came into the clinic. I don't know if she was just checking because she hadn't heard from the groomer, but she ended up in the back hallway in front of the window.
The window, yes. In front of grooming.
In front of grooming, yes. And then What did she see when she was there, guys?
She saw.
Well, it's more about what she didn't see, which was the scissors making contact with the hair of said dog.
It was making contact with the air around the dog.
There was a lot of cutting of air.
Yeah.
Okay, and so, like when you're grooming a dog, you run the hair through your fingers, then you trim the hair, and this groomer
I know
was
the
just
story.
cutting air.
Cutting the air around the dog.
As well as talking.
Yes.
Okay, so the owner goes back there and sees this, then comes back out into the lobby and finds the practice manager, you,
Yes.
right? And what
Yes.
did she say? She was like, oh my God, what's happening?
I think there's a problem in grooming.
Okay, that's exactly right. Okay, so I think there's a problem in grooming. You had to go back to grooming with this client.
Yes.
Okay, and so then you're back there and you witness that
Cutting the air, not the dog.
cutting the air, not the hair of the dog.
Cutting the air, not the hair.
Okay, and so then the client's clearly mad, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so what did we do to get the client? What happens then at that point? What did we do at that point? Did the client? Does anybody remember?
Well,
did we just say?
You called.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So then at that point, the client was upset enough that, and the groomer would not stop. She was insistent that she was actually doing the job.
Oh dear.
She was actually insistent that she was cutting hair, and she was not.
No, she was cutting
Air. And so then we were like, listen, you're not cutting the dog. You need to be cutting the dog. And she wouldn't listen to us. And so then I ended up calling the police.
Yes.
Or was it the paramedics?
You called the paramedics.
The paramedics. Because we thought there was something actually wrong with this person.
Neurologically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something was wrong.
Something was wrong neurologically. Basically,
Oh, no, but somebody
she had thrown back a few,
Well, no, it
Yeah.
could have been like some kind of break, stroke situation.
Right. We didn't know.
Yeah.
So we called the paramedics. The paramedics show up and question her.
Yeah.
And she starts walking around the clinic. Didn't she walk
Yeah.
around the clinic and they had to follow her around the clinic?
Yeah, she was not going.
She wasn't going with them. And she wasn't going to stop what she was doing that
Nope.
day.
She was not. She was cutting the air.
She was cutting the air and
Take a
she was
shot.
going
I'm
to
trying to say
charge
air.
for that air cutting.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's your story. Tales from the Trenches. We hope that you enjoyed it
Cutting the air, not the hair.
as much as we enjoyed experiencing it. So
It's a great final flag.
there we go, guys. Anyway, hope you have a good rest of the roundtable. I'll see you guys next week.
I had no idea that was 5 minutes long. God.
First of all, I can hear the ocean in the back. I'm very jealous. Second off, I think I've definitely... So the groomer was impaired of some sort.
Impaired. I know. I was like, well, now I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I think
What
I've
did the
heard
bear-
that story before.
That is pretty wild. If I was an owner, I would be heated.
Oh, well, I would be very upset. Especially, I mean, I don't know how long the dog was dropped off for.
Yeah.
If she was waiting all day. And I mean, also, a person who's impaired with scissors next to your pet,
Also that, yeah.
I would be very worried.
I feel
For
like
sure.
if I was the owner, I would have been checking myself to see if I was okay. Am I in a dream? Am I the one that's the problem?
Is this a fever dream?
That's
Yeah.
also true. I'm like,
If I
am
see somebody cutting the air, I'm going to ask myself, where am I? Like, am I good? And then I'll come to the realization that I am okay. Something else is wrong.
That's crazy.
That is pretty wild.
I'm trying to
What a
picture
time.
because, like, I obviously worked there before we renovated the whole clinic. I thought, like, the window, was there like a door with a window?
I don't know because
don't
that was
remember
before my
that.
time, so I don't even know what
Maybe
grooming looked like.
The room they're talking about is now Cat Mountain.
Oh,
Oh.
because when I got there, the bath and stuff, that wall and treatment wasn't there. That divided isolation and like the runs, there was just like a
Oh, yeah.
curtain, and that's where the bathtub was. It still is. So maybe that was before they moved it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would make sense. That's a very large window because when I worked there, I think that was still a cat room. I think I don't know.
It was a grooming room for quite some time.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a big window. So that'd make sense how she got there easily. Wow.
Wild.
Well, did she say that? I'm assuming the groomer got fired.
Probably.
No, they
Safe
kept her around
assumption.
for a while, actually.
Safe assumption. It was pretty entertaining.
Right?
They kept her there.
All right, that was a good one. Thanks, King. We miss you. Okay. On to case collections.
Case collections. You want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I think mine's pretty easy. Short, easy. Okay, so we had a 6-month-old cat. The clients had called. Well, here, let me give you a backstory. Let me back up a little bit. So they adopted the cat when she was like a little bit older, but I mean, she's still 6 months. So they adopted her when she was probably like 4-ish months. They adopted her spayed. And at her first kitten visit, we noted an umbilical hernia. It was pretty small. It was closed, no concern or anything. We just told them to keep an eye on it. We saw her a few more times after that. Hernia was still pretty stable, small, squishy, not a problem. She had also, since they adopted her, she's always had these upper respiratory problems. She's had kind of like wheezy noises. Her breathing is kind of off, whatnot. I think we saw her once for like an actual, like it had turned into a URI. So we treated her with, I don't remember the antibiotic, maybe Clavamox, or Doxy. I can't remember which one. But we treated her with that. She was doing fine, but the owners always knew she just had this little wheezing thing. Well, then it was discussed, okay, so maybe one day if she has a problem with the umbilical hernia, we'll have to anesthetize her. And at that time, maybe we'll scope her upper respiratory tract to see if we can see anything, since she was already spayed. So fast forward a month or so, the owner had called and he was like, hey, we were checking her hernia because they're very attentive clients. They're awesome. But they were petting her the night before and had noticed her hernia was very, very large and hard and she was painful. She didn't want to touch, whereas before she didn't care. So they brought her in and, they also were like, hey, her breathing seems a little bit worse today. And I think they were already in the mindset of, okay, we're probably going to have to surgically fix the hernia. So do you want to investigate the upper respiratory stuff? So we got the okay to perform surgery. So she dropped off that day. Next day had the umbilical hernia surgery. That went smooth. It was great. And then they did send in a culture of her upper respiratory. So they did a feline respiratory PCR panel. Everything. So the calicivirus was negative. Influenza was negative. Bordetella was negative. I don't know if I know how to say this one. I'm going to butcher it. Chlamydophilia? I don't know, was negative. The only positive was feline herpes virus. So to be completely honest, I don't know what we told the owners, what we are going to follow up with. Like I said, I know she was on antibiotics at the time of the hernia surgery, so they probably finished that course. And then I don't know if there's anything else that needs to be done at this time, but I will follow up. And I'll look at the chart tomorrow. But she's doing well. I mean, she recovered from surgery, so she's doing fine. So yeah, that's all I got. It's just good owners that checked the hernia daily, because you could admit that's an easy thing to miss.
Yeah. As you were describing it, I remember it now. It was large.
Yeah, it was really big.
It was like one of the bigger ones I've seen.
Yeah, that's why when she got there, I got her out of her carrier to get her weight, and I'm like, they weren't kidding, and it was rock hard.
And she's a fluffy thing, so I didn't see it or feel it right away. Yeah. And then when I did, I was like, ah!
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Good owners. They caught it like that.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my case. So we had a 2-year-old lab come in for vomiting. And so labs are known to eat things. Mm-hmm. So we did x-rays. The x-rays weren't super exciting, some suspicious areas. So we ended up hospitalizing, keeping him on fluids. The next day, we did end up doing surgery. When we got in there, he did have to have 2 enterotomies and a gastrotomy. Ew. So not good for that. But it ended up coming back as tampons. And oddly,
tampons and corn cobs.
Yeah, horrible. Yeah. So we ended up letting the owners know what it was. Funny story, they don't use tampons. So
in their household.
They believe it was probably like the daughter's friends or something. So that was a little bit of a surprise. But he recovered really well. He was doing really well. And then oddly enough, he came back recently because his incision, it's been over a month, and his incision is now open.
That's so wild.
It's like about an inch open.
That's crazy.
Just not super deep or anything. We did x-rays and that came back fine. We're sending out a culture, starting him on antibiotics, and going from there. He had a fever. He came in like yesterday, like 103.6. Yeah. His fever came down a little bit today, but that incision, it's so weird. It's been a month and it just now opened up.
That's crazy. So did they say he was licking it? Like, was he bothered by it? They just noticed it didn't look right?
They just noticed. They took him to the ER because they noticed that it was looking rough.
Yeah.
And then they didn't do anything there at the emergency clinic. They wanted them to follow up with us because there wasn't anything necessarily emergent with the case.
Right.
So they followed up with us, and here we are.
I'm very intrigued to see the culture.
Stay tuned, because it had been a month.
Right.
So we were thinking, like, if it was an OCEDA, like, that should have been, like, that reaction should have happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing with, like, a suture reaction, really.
Yeah. Anything. I mean, if there was bacteria in the wound, like, it already should have opened. Like you said, it's been a month since the surgery.
Yeah.
Typical healing's like 2 weeks, and then you're pretty much in the clear.
Right. So very odd, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. We'll come back with culture results because I'm very intrigued. Okay. On to listener inquiries. Don't forget to continue using our text message feature for our podcast. You tap on the episode in your podcast provider of choice. You look at the top where it says send us an inquiry through a text message here. You can send us any kind of comments, questions, concerns. We also take voice message inquiries, so you can send those voice memos to the veterinary roundtable at gmail.com. If you do use the text message feature, though, you have to include your name for a shout out. Otherwise, it comes through as anonymous. You read the first one?
Sure. Hi, my name is Ava. I am a pre-vet student. I will soon be applying to vet school and just recently found your podcast. I listen to it while I work and drive. I want to say that I've already learned a lot about what I need to do for vet school and how to manage my finances. I haven't been listening for long, but I'm already addicted and gained a lot of knowledge school doesn't teach you. I wanted to ask all of you, what is some advice, tips, or anything that wasn't directly said or taught to you that you had to learn the hard way? Ava.
Good question. I feel like, in tech school, and I guess that's any school, they teach you by the book.
Yeah.
And a lot of real world stuff isn't by the book. I guess I would have to learn that hard way, because one thing I will say, in school, when you learned radiology and how to perform x-rays and all the landmarks, all of your patients were sedated.
Yeah, that's also true.
Every single one of them. So you could easily just plop them on the table, put them in lateral. They didn't move a muscle. You didn't have to restrain them. In the real world, you really don't sedate x-ray patients. Like, it's not like a gold standard. You try everything you possibly can before sedation.
Yeah.
And that is a workout and a half. That's really what makes me sweat at work. It's because you have to wear a lead gown and you have to be all suited up. And if it's like a 150-pound lab and you're up on an elevated surface and you're short. So that was a little rough. But like, I worked in a clinic setting prior to going to school, so I think I had a better idea. So I feel like if you didn't have any clinic experience prior to going into school, that would be a bigger slap in the face once you get out of school, I think. So I would say like externing or doing doing like job shadows in a clinic would be a good idea prior to going to school. So you have a little taste.
Yeah.
So you're not thrown in the deep end.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. I think another thing is, don't be afraid to say that you don't know something. Like, if a client asks you, or like if you're already working in that setting, like if someone asks you a question, like a lot of people are like, oh, well, you went to school for this, so you should know.
Yeah.
Like, don't hesitate to be like, hey, that's a great question. Let me find the answer for you.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people have really high expectations of what you should know, and it's not reality.
Yeah. I feel like you learn a lot on the job. Yes, school teaches you like the basics and the foundation, but stuff I know now, I didn't learn all of it in school.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of it's on the job.
Yeah.
Or you learn from the book, like you said, but then like how it's actually done.
Yeah. Not everything's textbook.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, a dog comes in for vomiting and it's not like in school they would be like, okay, this is your list of 3 things to check off, but it's something like completely offhanded. Like, it's not just straight and to the point.
Yeah.
I would say a big thing, like a big misconception, I think, about veterinary medicine, and maybe it's not as much anymore, but I feel like I heard a lot of time in school of, I don't like humans, so I'm going to work with animals. Yes. No, those animals are brought in by somebody. Unless you're working in shelter medicine, somebody is bringing in those animals. There's a person attached. So I feel like the majority of your job is client relationships. So make sure you're really good with your people skills and learn how to talk to people and learn how to have compassion to a certain extent, because you don't want to have compassion fatigue right off the bat. And learn how to talk to clients that are in like a grief state or an emergent state, or like just have really good people skills, because I think that goes a really long way.
Yeah, I want to tag on that, like communication skills
Yes.
in particular. Like, definitely if you're going to vet school, you're going to be kind of like, once you get a job, you're going to be kind of like a leader.
Yes.
So you're going to have to kind of lead a team. So communicating is going to be super important. There's so many different ways to communicate, and you're going to have a lot of different people you're going to be communicating with. One of the books that we read in leadership was Crucial Conversations. It was super good. It just breaks down everything, gives you like key words to say so that you're staying professional and keeping that person's emotions like in the back of your mind too.
I read that book.
Yeah, it's a really great book, and I think it would really help.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
communication is hard.
Yeah, and from Emily King herself, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yes,
so I think that's a really big thing. And being willing to learn, and you also need to be able to get on board with change, because medicine alone is always changing. But then if you're in a clinic, like with All Star, we got bought by corporate at one point. Like, you have to just roll with the punches, and you can't sit in the past, because I know there's some vets around our area that don't want to give in to the change, and they aren't practicing the best medicine they can for their patients. So I think you need to be willing to adapt to things like that. Yeah, I think those are the big ones, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's pretty good.
Okay.
Okay. I hope that helps, Ava. Good luck. You're going to do great in vet school. Okay, second one. Hey there, VRT ladies. I am a 22-year-old veterinary technician of 6 years, about to be a registered next year, and professional dog groomer of 2 years. I've never had this / my outlook on the mental health, job satisfaction, and workplace appreciation topic discussed before. That veterinary medicine has made the 3 topics listed above toxic and overwhelming. Of course, I value healthy mindsets, bodies, and souls, as well as positive workplaces. However, I feel that the industry has become saturated with attempting to satisfy the employees within, and such has become greatly burdensome when initially it was never the workplace's job to cater to its employees' personal mental health. I have no doubt that the job is definitely tough on the mind and body of every employee, receptionist, technician, and veterinarians alike. I would just like to see the workplace / clinic environment become more professional and have less complaining, etc. There's a whole lot more I could talk about and elaborate, but I wanted to keep it brief for y'all. Very interested to hear your thoughts. I discovered your podcast a few months ago and have listened to all the previous episodes while I groom dogs on the road. You should put out more episodes a week. From Liv. Film more a week. We're all busy. Maybe one day, but
Liv, that you have so much in this thing that you could unpack.
Yeah, we should
I
go
like the way
line
your
by line.
thinking is, because a lot of people do not think this way.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel?
When I read this, I was like,
I know, I have mixed emotions.
I mean, it could go either way, but like in one aspect, like I get it. Like partially it is kind of like your company. Like it is the company's kind of responsibility, because if you have a crap environment, like you need to fix that.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
That can really dictate how your employees are feeling mentally, physically, emotionally, all of those things, which obviously you want people to be happy and love their jobs. On the other hand, I do feel like a lot of the burden is put on the company or like upper management to make sure that the employee, or I feel like it's our fault, you know?
Yeah.
It's the company's fault for how unhappy you are. And maybe sometimes the employees, like, and maybe this is not even just vet med, I feel like they're unhappy regardless. Like, it doesn't even matter their work, but they're going to blame it on work.
Yeah.
Type of thing. So that one is hard, but I like her thinking, because I do feel like there's a lot of complaining. And like the industry is hard enough. I just wish there was more positive thinking people.
Yeah. It's also a very, very female dominant field, which doesn't help. I feel like sometimes with the complaining and the gossiping. And yeah, I would agree that definitely the environment, I mean, that's on the company. It's also on the employees, though.
Yeah,
because the employees contribute to the environment.
Yes.
So, but I think the company should, of course, care to a certain extent about your employees and making sure they're okay. But I don't think they should be solely responsible. Like, I mean, yes, check on your people, but there's so many other not bigger things, but there's a lot more to worry about when you're running a business.
Yeah.
And so you can't like sit and have a therapy session with each employee every single day, making sure they're okay. Like, you also have to take personal accountability especially if it's not just your job, if there's outside factors and then you're bringing it to work, that's a problem.
Yeah.
You're supposed to leave work or leave stuff at the door. Like, so yeah, I think it's a hard topic.
It is really hard.
Because I don't think it's fair to blame all of your problems and all of your sadness, depression, anxiety, whatever you have on who you work for. I don't think that's fair. And if you are and you just can't handle it, maybe you're not in the right career. But I feel like that probably goes for, I mean, people probably do it everywhere. Like, not just in vet med.
I feel like it probably does happen everywhere. I just feel like, obviously, since we're in the industry, we're just seeing what's in the industry. And so I do feel like it's gotten worse. I feel like when I first started vet med, there was a different mindset, like, to working and how you worked and how you did your job versus now, like, the newer generation coming in to the workforce.
What do you think the changes are?
I feel like people are entitled, or they feel entitled, or they feel like they shouldn't have to work as hard as, like, you should just pay me. Like, I'm showing up, I'm doing, like, what I'm meant to do. Like, there's no, like, I don't want to say there's no overachieving or, like, I don't know the right words.
It's like bare minimum.
Yeah, bare minimum. There you go. Yeah. Like, I feel like it's definitely bare minimum now. It's like, came, did my job.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Yeah, like the people you hear, like, you're lucky I'm here. Yeah. I'm like, then don't be here.
Yeah.
There is a lot of negativity and stuff. Yeah, I completely agree.
A lot less buy-in to the mission statement.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot, it's now viewed as just a job, paycheck, instead of being wholesome and, like...
And remembering why you're there.
Yeah.
You're there to care for animals and people who love those animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. I like that. I would agree. 100%. Okay, I think we answered the question, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Liv, we need more people like you, or your mindset.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, you got to take accountability at some point for yourself. And like I said, if you're having problems, you got to figure it out on your own. You can't rely on other people to fix your problems.
Yes.
So take care of yourself. I mean, your company will take care of you, but take care of yourself. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Veterinary Roundtable. Remember, send in those questions and leave us a review if you enjoyed this episode or a previous one. We'll see you next week for another episode of the Veterinary Roundtable.